Hello. Hello. जरा आ गया आजा बेटा आजा इधर आजा Hi Abhirami. I think we'll wait for 2 minutes for people to join in and then we can start. Hi. How are you doing? I guess we'll wait for another 2 minutes. Hi Janine. Namaskara Ravi Aurge. Okay. So today I welcome you all to the session of storytelling. And how many of you have experienced storytelling? Just say, raise your hands. Just say a yes. Okay. So before we start, let me introduce myself. Most of you will be knowing me. My name is Ashwini, Dr. Ashwini Kamath, or as Dr. Ashwini Suri, as you people might be knowing me. And I'm a dentist, I'm a hypnotherapist, and I have my clinic here in Bangalore, India, Janine. Okay, so that's quite a boring introduction, right? So let me introduce myself in a different way. Ever met children, young children, and if you have asked them to introduce themselves, you know how they do that? Hi, my name is Ashwini. I'm 5 years old and I love dogs. Okay, so maybe it's like, hi, my name is Ashwini and I love finger painting. Okay, so that's the kind of enthusiasm that kids usually have around anything which is new, which is exciting, which has got a lot of imagination or visualization included. So, storytelling is very similar to this. See, we have been brought up on stories. I, as a child, never slept until my parents told me a bedtime story. And I followed the same routine with my children too. And you can see one of mine is here. Say hi, Ani. I'll show you. Here are two of my kids. Okay. So before we start with this session, I want all of us to introduce ourselves, but in a different way. So why not introduce yourself? Say your name and maybe a sentence about you, which nobody else would know, or maybe something that you would like others to know. So just your name, what your name is, and something about you which others would find very interesting, or which maybe you've never told before, and we can take it from there. Yes, how does it sound? Please type in your answers, and we can take it from there. Waiting. Hi, Sanjeev. Just your names and how we would like others to know you. Okay, so today we're going to be starting on a story. Okay, and as all stories do, this also starts with once upon a time. Okay, so once upon a time, there was this beautiful girl. See her? Beautiful girl with blue eyes, with golden hair, very pretty, very nice. But there's just one problem with this girl. Oni, I want you here now. So, you know what was the problem with this girl? She never used to listen to her mama. See the girl behind? Yes. So, this girl was never listening to her mama. Mama says, Princess, that's her name. Okay. So, Princess, come here. I want to tell you something. And she says, No, no. And she doesn't listen. And she does her own work all the time. She doesn't listen to mama. And then mama says, Princess, I want you here now. And she says, and she's doing something else. And mama is all the time calling, Princess, come here. Princess, listen to me. Princess, I want you here now. The princess never listened to her mama. Yes, just like Gaurav Pratibha, yes. We all have kids who are like princesses, right? So princess never listened to her mama. And then you know what happened? Slowly, slowly, the princess' ears started becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. You know why? Because she was never listening, right? So when you don't use any part of your body, what happens? It slowly starts shrinking in size, isn't it? So slowly her ears start shrinking in size, slowly, slowly becoming more and more smaller. So because her ears are getting more and more smaller, what happened? She's not able to hear, you know. And because she's not able to hear, her ears got more and more smaller. You know, then what happened one day? One fine day, her ears vanished. No more ears. Her ears were not there. So once she has no ears, she's not able to hear anything. So mama is shouting at the top of her voice. and princess can't hear. Correct? Just like all our kids, right? And then you know what happened? Just outside the house, there was this beautiful park. This park had swings and slides and toys. Okay? And Princess used to go and play there in that park every single day. She used to slide down, she used to swing, and she used to have fun with the other children. But one day, when Princess goes there to the park, she sees a man wearing a multicolored dress, and he's wearing a hat, very colorful hat, and he's sitting on a park bench telling stories to all the children there. And he's telling such a wonderful story. But Princess can't hear. She doesn't have ears. So what happens? She goes and she sits down near the person who's telling the stories. His name is the storyteller. So he looks at all the children and he starts with his wonderful story about princes and fairies and dragons and demons and a lot of other things which are so fascinating. All the children are listening. They all are listening with their mouths open. They're thoroughly enjoying the stories. And slowly, there is a small hole where the ear used to be for the princess. And slowly, as she listens to all those stories of dungeons and dragons and princesses, this little princess, her ears slowly start growing. Slowly, slowly, the ears grow. And as she listens to one story each day, every single day the storyteller is there in the park, telling stories to all those kids. And all those kids are waiting for him. And this princess also goes to the park every day to listen to the story. And what happens? She listens to those stories every single day, and slowly her ears start developing. And as her ears grow, she's able to hear the stories. And these stories are so fascinating. Her mind starts opening up to possibilities, to a wild imagination, to so many wonderful things in the world. And slowly, she realizes that she's able to hear again. And, and as her mind starts opening up, one day she sees that the storyteller has not arrived in the park. It's been quite some time, and she's sitting and waiting for that storyteller, but he does not come. And after that day, every single day, Moses goes to the park and she waits, but the storyteller doesn't come. So she's waiting, and then she's feeling sad. If the storyteller doesn't come, what is going to happen now? If I don't listen to stories, how will I ever, how will I ever experience all those wonders which I never experienced till now? And what if my ears close again? What will I do then? I won't be able to hear the singing of the birds, the trickling of the stream, all those wonderful sounds of nature. What will happen if I lose my ears again? And Princess is worried. She's very sad. She's worried. And then she notices on the park bench a small box, gift wrapped. It's a beautiful gift. And she realizes that the storyteller has left this box just for her. And as she goes towards that box and she opens the gift wrap, and from inside she finds four tiny boxes, four beautifully wrapped boxes. And as she opens them, she finds four wonderful things. And those four things are once upon a time. So mostly the stories usually start with this once upon a time. And here I'm going to start my today's story with once upon a lockdown because we are going through this phase of being quarantined. So I thought it's best we make use of this in a fun and interesting way. Get engaged, keep our kids engaged, and learn something in return. Hi Ashwini. Hi Vipin. Nice to have you here. Thank you all so much for joining in. And let's all have some fun listening to a beautiful story about once upon a time. Okay? Come join on. Okay. So once upon a time, not so long ago, this is a place in India. Okay? There is a river which flows through. It's a beautiful river. And on the banks of the river, there are two banks of a river. On one side is the town Melanpur. Okay? And in the other side of the river is the town Phelanpur. Okay? So Melanpur is called so because they produce melons. You know, melons? Watermelons? Huge ones? Yes, the green ones, the dark green ones, the striped ones, the yellow ones. So Melanpur is very famous for the melons. The melons are sweet, they're juicy, and they're very yummy. And everybody loves the melons in Melanpur. So basically, people travel thousands of kilometers to Melanpur to buy their melons. And the people in Melanpur, every single person is a farmer. And these farmers, they're experts in growing melons. Okay? So every single person has his own bit of land and all of them grow melons. Nice, juicy, ripe, big melons. Okay? And once the melons are ripe, thank you, Apurva. Once the melons are ripe, they all take them, they put them, they cart them in huge carts, bullock carts. This was a few, 100 years ago maybe. So at that time, we didn't have trucks and lorries and all that. So they used to cart them with bullock carts. So the bullock carts used to be loaded with the melons, and they used to take them to the marketplace. Okay, the marketplace is a common place, and there they used to sell those melons. Now, Phelanpur on the other side, they also used to grow melons. Okay, so even they had a lot of melons, they used to grow them, a lot of farmers in Phelanpur. But there's one difference. The people in Phelanpur were not that skilled farmers. So basically, they grew melons, but the melons were slightly smaller and they were not as juicy as those of Melanpur. And they were not that tasty either. And that was because they didn't know how to do it. They didn't upskill themselves. They didn't invest their time and energy into trying and finding out what was best, how best they could grow those melons. So basically, all they did was "Kam chalao kam." We are growing melons. We will grow and grow. We will go grow melons. That's it. So their melons, when they used to take them to the marketplace, the people used to come look at the melons and they used to say, melons are small. And I know these are from Pelanpur, so they're not very tasty either. Come, let's go. We'll buy melons from Melanpur farmer. So all the people used to crowd towards the farmers in Melanpur, where they were selling melons. So as a result, what used to happen is, day by day, the farmers from Melanpur, initially they were sad. Slowly, the sadness by anger, and they started feeling more and more angry towards those people from Melanpur. Why is it that only these people from Melanpur are able to earn money? We also grow melons. Even our melons are good. Of course, they are slightly smaller. And I know maybe they're not as tasty as those from Melanpur, but they are melons nonetheless. And melons are good. They are sweet. They are nice. So why aren't people buying our melons? So these people are really sad. And then they get angry. And then one day, all of the farmers, all the people from Melanpur, they sit and have a discussion. क्या करना चाहिए अभी? What is to be done? And then I Vineet, and they sit and they discuss. And there's one person who gets up and says, I know, I have a solution. We should go and we should destroy all those melons. We should go and destroy their crops of those people of Melanpur. That'll be a fitting reply for them. And the moment this person stood up and told this, the rest of the people say, yes, yes, he's right. That is what is mob mentality, right? There's one person who initiates, and then the rest of them are like sheep going in the same direction. And then the rest of them, they say, yes, that's the perfect solution, to our problem. Na rahega baas, na bajegi bansuri. Let's go destroy all their melons. And then people will only buy our melons. Okay? And then we'll be the people who will have all the money. We'll be the people who will be selling all the melons. So all decided that day night, all of them go. Hi Ajit. Yes. So all of them go with their knives, their sickles, their sticks, with fire. They slowly go in the dead of the night. It's dark outside. There are owls hooting here and there. They cross the river silently. They swim across the river very silently. They reach the other side of the bank. And then what do? They destroy all the crops. They destroy every single melon patch. And they break all those melons, those round, large, juicy melons. And for anybody who's looking, it looks like a bloodbath. All those red melons strewn across fields, every single melon destroyed. And then, once they make doubly sure that they've destroyed everything, now they're very happy. Yes, there is a sense of achievement that they have done something wonderful. And they're going to have a good time from now onwards because they'll be selling all the melons. So they come back. They come back to Pelanpur. So now you know why it is called as Pelanpur, right? So they come back to Pelanpur and they go to sleep. Their job is done. They're very happy. Yes. And then what happens? The next day morning, the people in Melanpur wake up, and when they go outside and see, they are like, all the melons destroyed. Every single melon is destroyed. There's nothing left. All their hard work, their months of hard work, so much of effort put in, everything is destroyed. Everything is finished. Some of them are sitting and crying, oh no, सब कुछ बर्बाद हो गया. अब हम क्या करेंगे? And there are some people who are like, what is to be done? How will I feed my kids? What will I do? And then one person gets up and says, I know who has done this. This has to be those people from Pelanpur. They are the ones who have done this. Those jealous, cunning, and selfish people. They are the ones who have done this, and we should not let them go scot free. We should go and take revenge. They have ruined our crops. We have lost everything that we have invested in. We should go and take revenge. And then the rest of them are like, yes, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. We should go and take revenge. And then they all collect together as one. They get their sticks and sickles and different, objects. And then as they start walking towards the river, they meet the elderly person from the village. This man is a very wise man. He's very old and he's very wise. So he looks at all these people going towards the river with sickles and sticks and he says, "Bachcho, kahan ja rahe ho? Where are you going?" So they say, "Namaste, but we are going there to destroy all the crops in Palanpur because they ruined ours. They have ruined everything for us. And they came and destroyed every single melon that we had grown." So the elderly man says, "Wait, wait, have some patience. Listen to what I have to say." And then they say, "Yes, we respect you. You are our elder. We respect you. And we are going to listen to you. Tell us what you want to tell us." And the elder man says, "See, what was the reason that they destroyed your crop? The only reason why they did this was because they realized that their melons were not as good. They realized that your melons are much better in taste. They are much better than theirs. That is the reason why they did this, out of jealousy. So if you go and destroy their melons, what is the difference between you and them? There's no difference, right? And for hundreds of years, we have been living in peace. Our two communities across these across this river, all of a sudden everything will be ruined, and all for the sake of a few melons. Think about it. The reason why they attacked and they did this was because they do not know how to grow melons. So I have one suggestion which is going to be even more effective than you going and destroying their crops. Because you lost your crops, your melons were good, but their melons are not good. They are not going to lose much. So you go and teach them how to grow those melons. They are ignorant people who do not know how to do farming of melons. So you take water in your cans, in your jugs, in your buckets. Go and teach them how to water it, when to water, what fertilizer to put there, and how to take care of the creepers, of the climbers as those melons grow. Teach them, and then all of them decide, yes, there is truth in what the elder is saying. And then they all just throw their sticks, their sickles, and they pick up buckets of water from the river and they go to the other side of the river. And as they cross that river. There are women, there are children playing there in Palanpur who see these people from Melanpur coming in. And they're like, "Oh no, they are coming here. They came to know that we have done this yesterday night. And now they have come to fight us. But they're having buckets in their hands. So what are they getting in the buckets?" And as these people from Melanpur come with their buckets and they pour water on the crops in Palanpur, and these people go run. All the women and children go tell the farmers, their men. And the men came running out because whenever you are doing something wrong, you always doubt the others. And as they say, if you're pointing one finger at somebody, The rest of the fingers point towards you, right? So similarly, these people are wondering, I'm sure that bucket has got poison. They're coming to poison our melons. Or probably they're pouring something else, which is very harmful for our crops. Or maybe they're coming to harm us. So all of these people pick up sticks and they run towards their crops, towards their fields. Because they're really scared. They don't know what these people from Melanpur have brought in their buckets. So when they start going towards them, the people from Melanpur, they smile at them, they greet them, and then they tell them, we are not here to do harm. We are here to teach you how to grow melons in the right way. And they teach them slowly and surely. They teach them how to grow those melons. Every single farmer, they talk to them calmly, with patience, smiling, with lots of love. And they teach them the correct way of growing melons, of taking care of the crop, of putting fertilizers, of watering them, of pruning them. And slowly, the people in Palanpur start following the instructions that the people in Melanpur have been giving them. And you know what happens? Yes, the melons in Palanpur also start becoming very sweet and juicy and large. And then they realize that they had been doing something wrong all this time. And there was no point in feeling jealous looking at the people over, across the fence or over the river side. Because what was wrong was in their own thinking, was in their own technique, in their lack of skill, lack of knowledge. And slowly and surely they start changing their ways. And now the people of Palanpur also grow juicy, large, sweet, red melons. Okay? And slowly and surely, both of these people from Melanpur and Palanpur become fast of friends. And and as all stories end, they stay happily ever after. So how did you like the story? Yes? Now as I see a lot of us, most of us are adults. Okay, I don't know. I think just a few kids around. So let's do a small integration of this session. Okay, just before I do that, I was going through Wiki and hi Darshana. So Wiki says melons originated in Africa. Okay, so there are different kinds of melons, and India and Iran also had, that is where the watermelons, cantaloupes originated. So this may be a story in India, it may be a story in Iran, or it may be a story in Africa. And now, if you ask me, of course, every story, all those loose ends have to be tied, right? So then, what happened with the people in Palanpur? The people in Palanpur realized their mistake, and you know what they did? They all gathered together and they gave a beautiful gift, a gift of friendship, a gift of love, a gift of respect, a gift of appreciation to the elder, the person who had given them the advice, the people of Melanpur, that they have to go and teach the people in Melanpur. So they went and gave him a gift from all of them. And I think that particular gift would still be there somewhere, maybe in India, maybe in Iran, maybe in Africa, or maybe in China. China is the biggest exporter of melons. Yeah, 2.6 million tons it seems. So China is not just famous for corona, it's also the biggest producer of melons in the world. Okay. So now, if we all have a pen and paper, Dhruva is searching for Zorro. Zorro is here somewhere. Yeah, here he is. There he is. So, as we heard the story, there are a few things that I would like for all of us to introspect, think about. I don't mind if you do it on your own, and you don't have to answer it here, but I would really appreciate it if you're able to mention it here in words. First and foremost, were you able to identify yourself or anybody else in your close circle of family and friends? Uh, were you able to identify any person as any character or characters in this particular story? Were you able to identify any particular event or maybe a situation as it might have happened in your life? It need not be melons, it need not be what happened in the story, but something similar to it. Have you ever experienced as a victim, as a perpetrator, as an observer, and how did it affect your life? What did you do when such a thing happened? How did you react to that particular situation? Did you react like the person who stood up and said, yes, we have to take revenge, or the person who said, yes, we have to go destroy everything? Or were you like the rest of the people who agreed with what the person said? Or were you like the elder who said, no, stop and think? Where do you put yourself in the story? Which part have you played all this time in your life? Think about it. Second question. Do you think that what the elder did was right? Could something else have been done instead? Is there any other possibility, any other solution? What else can be done, or should be done, or should have been done in that situation, or in a situation which is similar to it? Give it a thought. Yes. And now, the third one. This for all the kids and also for all the adults. So if you can recall the entire story in your mind's eye, what is the one image that really stands out? That one image which is imprinted on your mind. And I would like you to draw that out on a piece of paper. Maybe color it, draw it, and once you have drawn that, ask yourself, why did you choose that particular image? What was it that attracted you to draw that out? What was the message in that image that stood out for you? And lastly, what did you learn from the story? If there is one thing that you learned from the story, what was it? And before I end, I would also like to tell you that a story has got no beginning and no ending. It can lead to anywhere, it can go anywhere. Okay. So, probably a few days from now, time permitting, we can do an interactive storytelling session. Maybe what we call as a fractured tale, a fractured fairy tale. It's a lot of fun, especially for the kids. I had intended to do one today, but then change of plan because this was the first session. So I thought we should go in for a introduction to storytelling. So the next time probably we'll do a fractured tale of some common fairy tale, maybe something like Cinderella or Jack and the Beanstalk, Red Riding Hood, whatever. But it's going to be fun. So I want all of you to join in, and please do leave your comments on how you like the story. I would really appreciate that. And please do send in your drawings if you have done them. Most of you have my number, right? Thank you so much. It was fun. I thoroughly loved it, and I hope you did too. Honey, say bye. Okay. She's feeling shy. Bye. Have a nice day.